Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the On the Map Challenge on Alma, Missouri. Today is December 2nd, and it's a little bit of a different start to this episode because we are finally getting some snow. It is year 2 on the farm, and like winter of year 2, and this is the first winter we've had snow. Last year we did not have a single bit of snow. I mean, I think we had like a little bit of a flurry or something, but nothing actually stuck to the ground like this. And now it's halfway through the month and we're getting about a foot of some fresh powder today. That's what's in the forecast. So along with a white Christmas, we have a very nice price to sell corn at today. So I guess that's kind of my Christmas present. Corn is selling at a crazy good price. As soon as I woke up this morning, I checked the market to see what corn was at. And after seeing it had finally peaked, because throughout November, I was getting kind of worried that we were going to have to sell the corn in January because the prices were starting to fluctuate like crazy. Well, no, I woke up this morning and the prices had finally peaked again. I think right now it's at like 658 or something like that. I really need to figure out what that means, like how many bushels to the dollar or whatever. But we are taking some loads uptown. We've almost got the first bin totally empty because I think this right here is load number 3, if I'm not mistaken, and we've already totally smashed through the $100,000 mark. So we are making some serious cash out of this stuff. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited to see how this winter is going to pan out with all the upgrades that are on the way and all this corn that we're about to sell. We are going to be rolling in some cash. So I mean, without further ado, let's keep on selling this corn and see what we can get ourselves into. Alright, so we're back at the farm for another load. We switched the auger around as well, and I think this right here is going to be our 6th load up to the bin site, maybe even 5, somewhere like that. We've been taking it non-stop up to the elevator in town. And about the snow as well, when I woke up this morning, we only had about 6 inches on the ground, and then after being out here for a while, it's kind of added up to about 9 or 10, and by lunchtime we were supposed to get up to a little over a foot of snow. So yeah, polar opposite from what we had last year. We didn't even have hardly a flurry of snow at all, and it didn't stick anything like this. So the contrast from year 1 and 2 wintertime is totally different, and it's also a lot colder out here as well. So a lot of this snow had like ice mixed in it. You know, it's kind of making the snow pretty slippery, and we don't have anything to clear out the yard as well, so we're in kind of a mess. I mean, a lot of slick stuff in through here. But November has finally come to a close. December is honestly looking really promising so far. I mean, look at my bank account in the top right. We are almost at $200,000. And so in the intro, and just a while ago, we emptied this bin. It only had 77,000 liters in it. And now right here, we have already taken 1 load out of this bin, and we are at 155,000 liters in this bin. So in total, we're more than likely going to haul out 15 loads of corn with the wagons. I was thinking about getting Todd out here. I think I mentioned that. I called him earlier and saw where he was at. He's spending time with the family, so I think it's just going to be me today. He's going to be missing out on all the corn selling that we're going to be doing today because there's going to be a lot of it. So honestly, it's going to be pretty satisfying to see all the money come in by myself. So I guess we'll just keep on getting at it. So yeah, I kind of did jump cut like a month since the last episode, but I did get all the fields plowed up. I mean, you can kind of see around me. There's no stubble, nothing. That field right there is plowed up. Fields in the bottoms are plowed up, and the one in town. Everything that needed to be chiseled has been mulch chiseled, and then we also ran the disc over it to finish out, and we've got a pretty nice seed bed that's going to get us through winter and into spring when we start planting. So for the most part, we should not have to do any field work other than drop the planter down. I mean, we might have to finish out some fields a little bit, like run the cultivator over it one more time, but we did not do anything to our wheat fields. They are still in the town. They still have stubble on them, so we're gonna have to fix those. But for right now, all the wheat has been drilled, all the fields have been fit for the wintertime, lime has been spread, everything. Fall tillage kind of ended in a bang, and we even managed to get most of the equipment washed up and winterized and put in the sheds. So we have been absolutely knocking it out of the park here recently. And if you have not been able to notice it, or you didn't notice it, we also cleaned out the bales. The junk bales are totally gone. I will get back to that in just a little while though, because that part of the farm right there does look a whole lot better, and I know that was something that I had been meaning to do for a while. They showed up, I think a month ago exactly. It was like November 2nd or November 3rd, somewhere in there. They showed up, they cleaned it all out in a day, and then we kind of tidied up the area, like the smaller loose junk and everything. We cleaned it up and took it all to the dump. And then yesterday, not even an entire 24 hours ago, we had some folks come out and they helped me clean up the calf shed. There was termites in the calf shed for whatever reason, so it was rotting at the back wall. I didn't even see that at all. I thought it was in pretty decent shape, but no, it was really rusted at the back. There were termites in it somehow, so we tore the whole thing down. We put the calves in the pasture. I'm sure you can kind of see them running around in there. They're probably really cold, but they're doing all right. Maybe they can stick their face through some of this snow and eat a little bit of grass that's left, but we've been giving them mineral feed and hay and water and everything, so they're all set in there. They're doing really nice. And then yeah, we just completely destroyed the calf shed. Nothing there anymore. You can hardly even tell it was sitting there other than the gravel bed where it was at. And then the junk bales are gone as well, so the farm is looking really nice. Everything I've been wanting to do is coming to light, and I really enjoy that. So and then because we went in the build menu and sold the buildings instead of just actually deleting them, we were able to get a little bit of our money back from selling off the buildings. So the calf shed gave us about 20 grand, and the junk bales gave us about 5 grand. So we made almost $30,000 extra from cleaning up the farm, because when you sell stuff in the build menu, you get a little money back from it. So yeah, I don't know, it has been a pretty successful start to winter. Don't know how to feel about the snow, because the forecast says that we're supposed to get some for the next week straight. I'll actually open the forecast right now and we'll take a look. So yeah, snow on the 3rd, all of January, and everything I can see in February right now is a chance of snow. But the temperatures are supposed to kind of rise and fluctuate. You can see a high of 41, but a low of 12, a low of 16. So it's just kind of all over the place. But today, the snow is supposed to stop at lunchtime, and then it's going to be sunny the rest of the afternoon. And as we get into the night, it gets really bitter cold for around here, and then it's going to snow into the night as well. So the wind is kind of blowing a little bit right now, but for the most part, we're looking pretty good. And we'll hop in here and check out the price of corn. As you can see, grain sale point, that's where we are, $6.83. I was a little bit off, but you can see where it peaked at. It was kind of looking like this, how it's looking in March, all this. It was looking like this, and then all of a sudden it just, boom, just kind of spiked right here. It just went from flatlining, and it was like $400 or something in November, December, and January, and all of a sudden it peaked right here for $600 in December. So I was happy to jump the gun and get on this and sell it when it was peaking price. So yeah, I am pretty honestly happy about how we've been doing things so far. And look at that, would you? $200,000 in the bank account. So as far as chores go this morning, since I'm kind of a one-man show around the farm, we are going to be selling this corn, honestly, probably most of today. I don't know when we're going to kind of slack off, but it's going to be a few hours. But whenever we do get some of this corn sold, we need to drop a bale of hay off in the calf, I guess it's both now, the cow pasture. The calves and the heifers and the bulls, they all need some hay. It's one big pen, so we're going to drop a bale or two in there. They've got plenty of water, and then I guess we could also put out some mineral feed as well. We're down to our last 2 bags of mineral feed, so I hope we've still got some. If we don't, it's alright, they'll be good on hay, but we need to start feeding them more. So this right here, I believe, is load... Oh man, I've already forgotten. We've taken so much corn to the elevator. This is load number 7, I think. And oh man, check out the road. I didn't really actually notice it too much, but it is very slippery and wet. It's kind of turning into slush on the road. It's melting faster than everywhere else for some reason. So maybe that is why I'm sliding around at the elevator down here. I'm sure the yard's a pretty decent mess with me making tire tracks everywhere in the gravel and the mud, and it's kind of mixing with this slushy snow. It is for sure a wet winter. There's no doubt about it. I think I did say that was what it was going to turn out to be back in the summer. They were predicting it to be a wet winter. And it is, yeah, that has come to fruition. It is pretty dang wet. And then there's also talk of a really wet spring as well, just tons of torrential rain. Hope that's not the case, because we've had a year where we just get rain nonstop and it makes planting nearly impossible. Some fields we just have to replant where we already planted, and then it rains again and it's just a total loss for that field. So hopefully that's not the case. I mean, I shouldn't really worry about it right now because we're kind of in a vacation mode, if that's the way to put it. We're in the middle of winter. We can just kind of kick back by the fireplace and enjoy some snow and everything outside. All right, we'll start these two wagons. This should get us to almost $220,000, I believe. All right, there we go. And looks like we are also making $2,000 from our environmental score. So it's not as much as I said it would be. It's about half as much, but that's still a little decent amount. I mean, that gets added every single time. And I'm pretty sure our environmental score is still 84, even after all the tillage and everything we did. So making $2,000 every time we sell with an environmental score of 84. So I think that just actually applies to corn. It's crop specific. Like, you make the amount of bonus from your environmental score based off of the crop's environmental score, if that makes sense. It's not just like it's not a total added together, it's by the crop. So how your fields of corn are determines how much bonus you make. I think that could be wrong, could be right. I think that's right though. Now we're already back for another load of corn. I mean, we are really kind of knocking this out of the park with how fast we're getting back to the farm and elevator and back and forth. I put the 8300 on the wagon so that we could have a little more power through the snow and everything. Front wheel assist definitely helps when you're like sliding around and everything, I'd say, because like I did say, the snow is extremely slick, so this front wheel assist does kind of help if you were to lose traction, or no, if you were to lose control, and then the front wheel assist gives you a little more traction. So it definitely helps over top of like the 7120 Magnum or the 4250. This tractor is definitely ideal to be pulling these Parker wagons full of corn, and it would really suck if we managed to flip over one of these wagons or something and spill corn everywhere. I mean, this stuff is honestly pretty precious to us right now. But yeah, I'm going to keep selling this stuff. There's just so much. I don't want to bore you guys going back and forth from the elevator. So I'm going to get a few more loads sold, and then I will meet back up with you guys when we're back here and we're almost done with corn selling. I'll probably meet back up with you guys when we're on our last load or two, just to see how much money we've got. We'll add everything up and just kind of talk about it a little bit, and then after that's all done, we'll feed the cows, we'll head down to town to the bank, figure out our payments, and hopefully take out another loan, and we'll get to buying some stuff. So a lot being said, I will see you guys in just a little while. Alright, well, it's been a little while, and this is one of our last loads of corn taken uptown. I think we've got like 7,000 liters left in the bin, so we're only going to be able to fill half of the first wagon or something like that. We don't have hardly any left. But so far, we are almost at $300,000 in our bank account. We're like $10,000 shy of the 300 grand. So I think it's pretty safe to say we did a number on corn selling this year. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Breaking $300,000 in year 2, I mean, that is really something special if you ask me. So, and also the snow has finally kind of slacked off. It turned to sleet kind of at the end, around 12 o'clock, and then since then it's really gone up about 8 degrees outside. So I mean, since we started selling corn, it was like 27 outside when we started. Now it's all the way up to 40 degrees. So the sun has really come out and warmed everything up, and it looks really pretty outside with the white snow everywhere. It's not a cloud in the sky. It looks really nice. I really do enjoy how it looks out there when there's just the snow on the ground and it's just kind of settled. I don't know. I do like that pretty good. So yeah, I think it's a nice day to be selling some corn. It definitely looks pretty outside. And just like that, we have also passed the $300,000 mark. I mean, I really cannot believe it. So something I did not mention earlier that I honestly didn't really think about is we've also got to break out the wagon, and we're going to load those small square bales up, and we're going to sell those off today as well. They're just kind of in the way, kind of junk. I said something about those as well, I do believe. So we're also going to do that today as well. I'm not really sure the order of what we're going to do all this in, but we do need to sell the last little bit of the corn. We're going to come back, I guess, get in the Ford tractor. We're going to give the cows some hay. Then we will sell off the straw bales, and I'm just assuming while we've got the wagon still hooked up to the truck, we can probably swing by the bank and talk about a possible loan and see if I'm fit to take out another one. Also, we're going to make a special redemption and pay off what we still have, which I think is only like $70,000 we still got to pay off. Well, I say only, but we did pay a good 30-40 grand off since we took the loan out, so we didn't really have a lot to just pay it all back. So but yeah, that's the plan. I believe we can find a parking spot and we'll just park with the truck in the parking lot. So I'm assuming we'll just load the bales on the wagon and then we'll take the wagon down there with the truck. That seems like the best thing to do. And this is the last 7,000 liters from corn harvest. Oh man, it's kind of sad to see it all go, because I was planning on selling a little bit in the summertime, but as of right now it's really only peaking in the winter, so there's no reason to keep it in the bins for almost a year just to get half the price in the summertime. But usually it does want to rise again in like June, July. I'm sure we'll have enough corn in the next coming years to sell some of it off in June, July. But for right now, it's better to just go ahead and sell it all off. And besides, we do need it anyway. So we'll run this down to the elevator real quick. We'll finally put this tractor up. I mean, it's been going all morning. It needs to kind of take a break during the winter time a little bit. We've been going really hard on these tractors all year long. So, and we also did just wash this tractor, and it's already got road grime, and I think there's even some salt on the tires from the road as well, and some snow mixed in there. Yeah, it's pretty filthy already again, so might have to break the pressure washer out one more time and just kind of spray it off before we put it up in the shed. But you know, it may be okay to just leave in the shed. Well, if it's got salt on it, we probably don't need to leave it dirty, so we will in fact spray it off with the pressure washer. Okay, we'll start this wagon and we'll get it all offloaded. I'm guessing we should probably be somewhere in the $315,000 area whenever we finish selling this, and that'll be obviously our final price from selling all the grain. It actually looks like it's going on a little past 315,000. Oh nope, it sat right at almost 15,000. So let's come in here, let's see how much we actually made on selling corn this year. So it looks like we made $200,000 from harvest income. So that's corn, $200,000 from corn. That's honestly really nice. And then you can see right here the 30,000 from sold buildings. That's obviously the calf shed and those junk bales, which I'll get in the farm and we'll talk about that. So that's the recent finances. Honestly, not bad whatsoever. I would have been a little curious to see how much money we would have made off of wheat if we were to sell it right now as well, but you know, we obviously sold that a while back to have some more space for the corn in the bins. But would have been kind of interesting to see what wheat would have come up to. Maybe we'll put up another bin in the summertime or something, so we'll have a little more storage to put some more crop in the bins instead of having to swap out crop types just to have enough to fit in the bins. I mean, we are kind of running out of space so far. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm not gonna lie. Final like income or whatever is better than year 1 and 2 and even 3 probably on the first on the map challenge. So I keep saying it over and over again, and I'll say it once more. We are looking a whole lot better this on the map challenge than we were in the last. I'm doing this a little bit more smarter than I was last time. I'm making better decisions when I'm buying stuff and when I sell stuff and what I'm selling, and it's honestly paying off really nicely. I think harvest income on the first on the map challenge in year 2 was only like 130,000 or something like that. It was nowhere near this much money, or at least I don't think so. It could be the same amount and I'm just totally screwed myself, but I don't think so. And for right now, let's put this tractor just over here. We'll pull it out of the pathway. I'll stick the wagons back where they go. Let's finally hop out of the tractor and let's do some talking and walking around. So first of all, I think I mentioned this earlier, we cleaned out all the junk bales. You can see this does look really nice in here. There's just a bunch of kind of rotten grass and mud and everything under where the bales were sitting, but they came all the way down to somewhere in here. And now there's just this big empty area where we can put something. So obviously the finishing barn is coming here for the cattle. It's going to fill in this whole area. But it looks a whole lot nicer if you ask me. And the only thing I'm kind of stumped on is what to do with these trees, because I really don't want to cut them down, but they're in kind of a weird spot. There was also a stump somewhere in here that we had to grind out of the ground, and I helped clean it up with a skid steer. Which tells me that there were actually some trees right here, but they cleaned out like a path in the middle. Obviously the owners before me who had the farm, the last farmers, they cleaned out a little spot right here to put bales and stuff. So there were trees all the way through here, and they just cut out like 3 or 4 right here to put bales, which, I mean, that's kind of strange if you ask me, but hey, I mean, I guess it did work. And now we can take a hike back here to the cattle pasture, and as you can see, no more calf shed. I think we can actually probably sneak in the pasture. We'll walk out here. I'll come back and give the cows a bale of hay in just 1 second, but let's get a move on. So yeah, you can see it was sitting right here. I could not sell the manure heap that I was messing with, but this is where the calf shed was. It's gone now, so this looks a little empty back here, but I'm kind of glad that there's like more room for the cows. You can see some of the calves are in here bouncing around. They're all grown up now, and I do believe that the heifers finally gave birth to their offspring as well, so there should be a good few head of cattle in here now. Oh, and it looks like the rest of the snow just melted. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I like that feature in Farming Simulator where all the snow just decides to go away at once, but now we can finally see the bare ground again, which honestly, if you had to ask me, is a little bit unrealistic because we did have like a foot of snow a while ago, and now it's already all gone. So I know it's 40 degrees outside, which means that snow melted extremely fast, but for it to all go away at one point like that, I don't know how to feel about that. But either way, you'll be able to see where the calf shed was a little better out here, and I'm sure the snow is going to be back and better than ever tomorrow. We got a chance every day of the week, like I said, or actually next couple of months there's a chance every day, so we'll see about it. But yeah, you can see out there to my right where the calf shed was. We didn't even leave anything behind. We made sure to clean it all up and leave it really nice over there, and it'd probably help if I lifted the loader arms up a little bit. Alright, there they go. They got a fresh bale of hay now. I was too busy talking and ran right into the hay ring, so hopefully I didn't dent the side of the metal. But for right now, that is that job well done. We'll shut the gate back up. Yeah, they've got plenty of water and everything, so we can just head on down to the next task, I do believe, which is selling off our straw bales. That's going to be pretty interesting. The first things first, I actually want to tidy the yard up a little bit. So while we've got the Ford tractor out, let's go ahead and move this auger out of the way. We'll position it something like that, and then we should be able to just hook up right to it and tow it down to the fence line over there where we always keep it. Oh yeah, this is working like a dream come true. Then now we can go and put the Ford tractor up. I'm surprised this thing fired up as fast as it did. I mean, it has been a little while since we've kind of ran it, and it's pretty cold out here. Or it was chilly. It's warmed up really quickly. So, you know, I'm starting to think that this winter may not be as normal as I thought it was. It's kind of turning into a last year winter. I mean, we had a foot of snow and it's all gone in a couple hours later. I don't think that's exactly the most common thing ever, but hey, we had some snow, now we don't. It'll be back tomorrow, like I said, but I think that's kind of just interesting. And I also have no idea where I am going. I got to go get my truck. We probably need to move the Magnum out of the way. I'm pretty sure it's right here. So we're just going to pull through. And yeah, this right here is what I'm talking about. We had the bales in a nice even stack right here, and look at this crap. They just, I don't know what does this. I really have no idea. They were like right here where I'm looking at in this corner, and now they fell everywhere. So I don't know what could be causing this. I hope we can even get a wagon in here, but I am going to back the case out of here just so we can pull through. And actually, I am kind of glad the snow's gone. Now that I think about it, I was worried about the truck sliding around everywhere with that full load of straw bales, but I don't really want to bring a tractor up to the bank or anything, so it'd just be more convenient with a truck. I mean, we can probably get in tighter places and stuff. Now I am actually going to go take these wagons back down to the fence line as well before we get hooked up to the wagon. Okay, and now we can go put this tractor up as well. Honestly, for right now, I think I'm just going to leave it out by the shelter over here because I don't have my keys to unlock the shop there. A little bit unfortunate. I should always keep them on me, but the one day I don't have them, they're up in the house and we need to get in there. So for right now, I'll go grab the truck out of the garage. It's been in there all morning. I just left it. Just walked down to the farm today on the coldest day for whatever reason. And I do believe this door back here should be unlocked from earlier. No, it is not. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go inside and grab my keys. Oh man, this is why are all the doors locked on today of all days? Oh man, you know what? I'll just meet you guys in a second whenever we get all the straw bales loaded and we're at the bale sell point. So yeah, let's just cut there. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, we finally got a load of straw bales. That was extremely annoying trying to pull the wagon through the shelter with all the bales everywhere. And I mean, we've got an auto load trailer too, so yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing small squares for a while. Don't know why this glitch is a glitch, but if anybody knows why it's doing this, I mean, please let me know. We put the bales in a stack like this. They look just like this on the ground, and they turned into this. So yeah, we're going to get rid of them just because we don't really need them anymore. And by the time we have the finishing barn up, we will be baling straw bales with the round baler, so that'll be a lot more convenient as well. I'm setting my cruise control right now. Okay, there we go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we're going to be baling with the round baler. So yeah, square bales is just not really convenient. Oh, and hey, speaking of square bales, we also did get an offer on that square baler, and we sold it for $3,000. Somebody really did offer me $3,000 for that square baler, so we sold it for that. There was literally nothing wrong with it. It was just very dirty, so he said he'll just clean it up and give me $3,000 for it. So hey, what a steal! I just wanted it off my hands, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just totally forgot to mention that earlier. That is something else we did get rid of. It was around the same time those guys got there to clean up all the junk bales and everything. So yeah, just honestly, a lot has happened for some reason in the last month or so. But yeah, we're going to take these down to the bale sell point. I believe they're going to give me $80 a bale for this right here. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it's saying. Straw is selling for so much right now, and we're not going to miss out on it. And I mean, there was literally no reason for this stuff to be sitting in a shed, so yeah, you bet your buck we were going to come over here and sell this stuff. And I guess it's like right in here like it was in Farming Simulator 22. So we'll slide these over and drop them off about right there, I think. I don't believe that was the sell point. Okay, let's pick them back up. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I was just a little over to the right. So it should be about right in here. Let's try this now. We got to kind of push some of these in the pile, but we are making absolute bank out of these right here. I mean, what is that? Like $100 a bale? It's even more than I thought it was. Alright, and there's the last one, and we made, what is that, like $14,000? Or no, it was like 12,000, somewhere in there. I'm not really sure what we had before we sold all the bales, but honestly, for what it's worth, I mean, that's a decent amount of money. Now we're going to go back and we'll grab one more load. I don't think it's an entire load of straw bales. I think there's only like 130 left, because right there we sold about 153, I think, is a full wagon load, so we've only got a little bit of that. Okay, now we'll pick up the last of this straw. I'm not real sure how I'm going to get that close to the wall, but we'll try and figure it out. Okay, I think that is all we're going to get from pulling in here. We're honestly too close to the side of the shed right there to keep driving in, so we're going to have to put a lot of these on the bale trailer manually, which is no big deal. I'll just grab a bunch of these at once and kind of pull them down here. The only benefit to small square bales is how easy they are to handle. I mean, obviously you can't pick up a big old round bale. I mean, what, that's like 900 1,100 pounds. Is pretty heavy. These, I mean, while they are still kind of heavy, they're just a lot more manageable to move around. And actually, if I kind of pull them all to the front of the auto load spot, they'll kind of all pick in there. I've only got auto load with square bales, so don't worry. I'm loading round bales manually. I have been the entire series. I know I was kind of bad at auto loading in the last on the map challenge, and I think it just adds a level of realism when you actually stack it yourself. I mean, if you think about it, I'm kind of sort of stacking it myself right now, but either way, that is one clean shelter, and it has not been this clean in this part of the shed since we bought the dadgum farm, so pretty happy about that. We'll squeeze by and hit the road. And yeah, we've only got 133 bales in this load. I mean, that's still a good amount. We'll probably bring in around 11 grand again, so that's my hope anyway. We'll be around $337,000, and then we'll go sit down with the bank teller or whoever I'm supposed to talk to, and we'll try and figure out a loan. I do have to pay off a bunch of my money though. Alright, let's see if we can sell all of these bales on the first go without having to try again. We messed up twice there, kinda. Third time's a charm, I guess. Let's sell it in the right spot now. Okay, we sold everything but 2 bales, so I'll count that as a success. And we basically made as much money as I said we would. I mean, we're basically there. We're $1,000 shy of what I did say, but yeah, that is honestly awesome. Check it out, I can even use this road this time to get out, because down here we're turning the right way. I think this is how you're actually supposed to get in or out of this place anyway. Yeah, let's take it on to the bank. I'm probably going to have to park in the back this time though, instead of on the side right there, so let's go ahead and find a spot to park. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting my truck in right there, so I'll swing it around back here. I hope this is not a spot to put my truck where it'll get towed away, so we'll leave it right here. I'll hop out, we'll go inside the bank and talk to somebody who can set me up with a loan. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because, first of all, we do have to pay off our previous loan, but I would like a little extra money to get us started on some fields, because obviously we need to upgrade our equipment, but we really don't have enough money even now to buy as many fields as I want to buy for year 3. So yeah, we will hop in the bank here. Hopefully they'll assist us like I want it to. I really am thinking about a $200,000 loan, but that might be a little bit too much. We'll hop in here and talk to them and see what they say. So yeah, I will catch up with y'all in just a little bit, and I will see what we end up with. Alright, well, welcome to the start of year 3, and I'm starting this one out on my front porch. This is real exciting stuff. So I did just skip right into January, the start of the new year. The reason I did that was because I wanted to finalize the loan, start purchasing all my equipment and land and everything, and I wanted to wait and do that in year 3 so that I could actually say these are upgrades for year 3 instead of saying we got them at the end of year 2 and stuff. It just helps with finances on the screen or whatever, so I can keep up with it, which is not a big deal. But we did go through with the loan, and we have spent some of our money. We took out $200,000, and we we're going to be paying it off over a span of 5 years, so we were going to have to be making a few couple payments every once in a while. But it was all worth it because we had about $530,000 in the bank account, and we spent, I guess, almost $100,000, little over $100,000 on equipment upgrades, which I will get to in just 1 second. That's why I'm not walking over there to the farm. I don't want you guys to see anything yet, because first we're going to be looking at some fields here. So I have been looking at a couple fields. Now I am going to make one thing. I'm going to bring something to light real quick. I was very adamant on purchasing this field right here where my cursor is. Actually, I'll zoom in a little more. It's field 5. It's this whole field. I did not realize they were all connected at the bottom right here. So that's one ginormous field, and it cost $700,000. So I can't buy that. In Farming Simulator 22, this was a field, this was a field, and this was a field. And then in this new version, they've combined all 3 of them. And I have heard that in this map update that's coming out, that requires a new save game or whatever, this is going to be a separate field. So if I can find a way to bring my save game over to the new version of the map, I don't think that's possible, but I'm gonna try and figure it out if I can, like, save my farm and all my equipment and just carry it over to the new version. But if I can't, then I'm just going to be stuck on this map, and I'll have to wait and buy this field when I'm a millionaire. But if we can't, I'll end up buying this field sometime this year or next year. So this is off the table for right now. I really wanted this field right here. It's like 15 acres, I think. But the entire field is 41 acres, so it's pretty hefty. So then that turns our attention up towards like this part of the map up here. So we actually, here, I'll go to like farmland so you guys can see. Everything highlighted in green is what we own. We have all these fields down here close to the farm. We've got this one right here and this one up here. So for the ones I was looking at, I was really thinking about buying this one right here, which is 24 acres. It's got really nice yield potential, and it's right here at the farm. And something I really like about this field particularly is if we need a lot of hay, because right now we're only working off that little pasture, what we can do is split the field in half right here at this little tree line and put this field in grass and this field in crop. It makes it really easy to have 2 different crop types in one big field as well. So we'll keep it, like, if we do buy this field, we'll keep it like this for a while, and we can even take our plow and combine the fields down here a little closer to our farm, because there's just a bunch of empty space right here. So that makes this field really like something I would want to go for, right? So, but not this year, because I've got something else up my sleeve. So the fields I were looking at were as the following: 32, this one down here, which I just spoke on, number 7, which is right here I'm highlighting, 25, 23 right here, and number 6. which actually has a worse yield potential than I thought, which is why it's so cheap. So after doing some thinking, we're not going to be able to buy 3 fields like I wanted to. Like I said, I had like 5 in my mind that I was looking at, but I wanted to buy 3. Well, that's not going to be possible because I went really light on the equipment upgrades this year, but I still just don't have enough money. These fields are so darn expensive, and I'm playing on normal difficulty, so not even hard, and it's pretty difficult, I'm not going to lie, but we do have more ground than we did on the last on the map challenge, so we're not like bottoming out, like we're not, we're still going to gain land, and I'm going to buy 2 fields today. The first one being up here, 25, no brainer. It's less than 200,000, which is a lot cheaper for the 10 acres, and the yield potential is some of the best I've ever seen on this map. So we're going to pick that up, which is going to cut our bank account in half, so now we've got 220,000. Then we are going to turn our attention to the bottom of the map down here to field number 7, which is 143,000 with almost the same yield potential, and it's 8 acres. It's almost the same size as that other field with almost the same yield potential. And then we're going to buy that one, which leaves us with $83,000, which honestly is a little scary because we got to go through springtime with 80,000. I mean, obviously we could find a way to sell some stuff off if we need the money, but I think we'll be able to buy seeds and everything with what we've got as long as we don't spend it on any more ridiculous equipment. Now, the only thing I did not buy is a lawnmower, so that's going to have to come in the summertime. I'm not dropping another $5,000 on some more equipment. So don't worry, I went really light on the spending this year. So we'll get to that in a second, but here are our new fields for year 3. I know the map still looks enormous and we have a lot to go, but I'm going to be honest with you, if we can knock out a lot of these smaller fields in here, like 4, 6, 13, 14, 8, 39, all these around this other farm, we're going to start filling in really fast. And you will be surprised how much these 2 fields are going to help us out in year 3 with how good the yield potential is and the size of them. I mean, we have just added on 20 acres to our arable cropland. So I think now we are working with about, oh man, I don't know, I think it's like 150 acres we're working with now this year. I'll have to add it up and get back with you guys to tell you, but that goes with the amount of arable land, not just field land and everything. So there we go, 2 new fields. I'm pretty honestly happy. I couldn't complain about those 2 purchases. The only thing I wish I did was buy this big field right here. Oh, it's saving. Hold on. Just wish I bought this big field right here, kinda, because it's so close to the farm. But something like 23 is something I also wanted to buy. But you can just see, like, they're just so expensive. It's a little bit bigger than this field we bought right here for 40 grand more, I think. So yeah, just a little crazy. So now we will get right into equipment upgrades. Now, a few of these are going to look a little silly. Actually, one of them is going to kind of look a little crazy, but I will explain it. It's going to make perfect sense. So we're going to walk this way, and you're going to see something immediately. It's over there by the bins, and we'll actually take a walk over here first. So I picked up 4 different items. Well, one of them is kind of just like a trade-in. I'll get to that last because I don't want you guys to freak out. But right here is something totally new. We dropped $30,000 on a brand new wagon. This sucker is huge. I thought about going and purchasing a semi-truck and trailer, like a smaller one, like a cheap farm truck. We've got plenty I can use in here, but instead we went with a J&M 655, and it is a 750 bushel wagon. It's huge. So it's going to make hauling crop to the farm a lot easier. We won't have to make as many round trips because I know those Parker wagons are kind of small for what we're working with, especially now, but they are still down there. So we're going to use all 3 of them. We might hook up one Parker wagon to that J&M wagon as well. So we're going to have like a road train hauling out of the field, if that makes sense. Oh, and also I totally forgot to mention it. We did get some snow overnight, so that's why there's snow on the ground. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, don't it? I think we've got about 4 inches sitting on the ground right now, or no, it's definitely a little more than 4 inches. But yeah, we did get snow last night, so that's nice to see. So now, the next thing is inside of here, and to have a big wagon like that, you gotta have a pretty big tractor to pull it, right? Which leads us to our next insane purchase, a John Deere 8320. And not far behind it, our new planting setup. A John Deere 17, is this 1750? Yes, 1760, sorry. 1760 Maximerge XP with liquid tanks on the top, which means we are gonna start applicating liquid fertilizer when we plant. Yeah, I know, crazy news. I've like never done this ever. So this was honestly a no-brainer, both of these tractors. Honestly, the tractor right here was what we spent most of our money on. It was like 100-something grand, but it's Green Star ready. We've got hubs for front duals. We've got the front duals behind the shop out here. We've got almost a full entire stack of weights. It's got the deluxe light package, the globe. It needs newer tires, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is very clean, but the tires are wearing down, so I'm thinking about picking up a brand new set of Firestones maybe. And it does have the early tip exhaust, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I do like the later tip where it's a little smaller, but I think it looks pretty sick on this. And then we've even got rear and front fenders that are in awesome condition. Oh yeah, and then like I said, the deluxe light package. I mean, look at all these lights on this bad boy. We're going to be lit up at night. And then finally, rounding things off, I mean, we've got a quick adapter for the 3-point. Oh yeah, it does have rear duals on it, by the way. And like I said, we've got the stuff to put front duals on as well. It's just a beefy tractor, and it's got 263 engine horsepower. I was going to say 270, but it's a little smaller. But it's a beefy tractor. We're going to be using this for tillage. I wanted another 4-wheel drive tractor because we've got only one right now. So this thing will compete head-to-head with our 8300 because they are pretty similar tractors. I mean, they both start with an A, or an 8, and they both have a 3 behind the second, or as the second number. So they're honestly pretty similar tractors in size. This one's got a lot more horsepower, obviously, but honestly, I think it fits the farm just as good as anything else would. And then our planter, this is a 12-row planter. We still do have an 8-row corn head. I couldn't pick up enough money to get a decent 12-row corn head, and I don't think the combine we've got right now is going to really work great with a 12-row head, but I don't know, it might. So yeah, we will be seeing this for sure in the near future. Whenever spring comes, we're going to jump the gun and get some planting done, and I cannot wait. I'm really debating if I should pull the planter with the 8320 here or the 8300. I don't know. They're both so good looking tractors. I just don't know what would be more ideal for a planting setup. So yeah, there we go. You know what? We'll shut the garage door. Leave that tractor in there in the warm shelter. So yeah, there's 3 of our upgrades. Honestly, not bad picks at all. We did kind of need a bigger wagon for more space. We did not really need a bigger tractor, but I did kind of want something, so now we won't have to worry about a bigger tractor for a couple years now. We have everything we need. This will be our biggest workhorse, and the planter was kind of a needed upgrade. And actually, I did say we only had 4 items, but I totally forgot out here we did manage to pick up a slightly bigger header. We went from a 20-foot platform head to a 25. This thing's just in a whole lot better condition, you can tell. It's got new knives, new rock guards. The reel is all new. It's got new side shields. It's got new hydraulics. I mean, this thing looks like it just rolled off the factory and hasn't even hit the field once. So yeah, that was an absolute steal. And then the corn head is, well, it's still the same. Nothing changed with the corn head. So now we'll make our way over to the shelter, over here, the shop. And in here is the change that I said might seem a little crazy, but I will explain why. So let's go ahead and open up the shop. Oh, you might have already seen it. Yep, that is right. We picked up another combine. Now, I went totally against my word whenever I said we were going to have 2 combines because we did a trade-in. We got rid of the older axial flow and we picked up a late 90s 2344 axial flow. So you can tell off the bat it is a bigger combine for sure. It does not have duals. It's got single tires, which I don't know how to feel about. I did kind of want some duals, but it's beefy. It's a lot bigger. The grain tank holds, I think, like 100 bushels more or something like that. And it does have a fold-down grain tank. So we can actually put it in the shed here a little more comfortably because the last combine, we were almost rubbing the rafters every time we pulled it in here. And the auger is also longer. There's just a lot of stuff that's better, in my opinion, on this combine, as well as just the threshing system. I like this better. And all around comfort, the cab's better, everything. I just don't think it looks as cool, but you know, I always have a soft spot in my heart for an axial flow, like a 2344 this series. But anywho, the reason we got this combine is because of GPS. This thing came ready with Ag Leader, Trimble, whatever it's called. This has got the GPS in it that we want. And we were actually debating on putting a Green Star system in here because we have an extra one, but we do have the GPS, the monitor, and everything's in the cab. We just got to hook it up, and it came with this combine. I mean, we did not even spend any money on a combine. We just traded it in. We took the old combine back and just picked this one up, and it had a GPS in it. We didn't have to spend any money on GPS or anything. And then the second reason we got this combine is because of the hitch in the back. The old other combine did not support a place for a hitch, so now this combine will be able to pull the head cart to fields, which will save so much time, because in the past we've had to have somebody come back and pick up the head and then come back to the field for us. So none of that, I mean, that's all in the past. We've got something that can pull the header to the field now, and I really just wanted something that could do that. And you know, this is farming simulator, so we couldn't just weld a bracket under the rear axle. I wish that was a thing, but you know, you've got to work with the store options, so we didn't have that. So yeah, new tractor, new planter, new combine. Well, new to us combine. Basically everything's new to us. They are kind of old, but wagon, bigger platform head, and yeah, that's, oh, and our 2 new fields. Yeah, there we go. That's everything we bought. And we still managed to save $83,000 in our bank account. And if you are wondering, we did keep the old planter. It's right here. We've put the tractors kind of back up in the shelters, so they're all back in here with the cases in the back. 4250s here, 8300s here. We've kept all the tractors. We've just got 5 on the farm, and 4 of them are like workhorse tractors, and obviously the Ford is for like haying and odd jobs, like a chore tractor. So yeah, we really didn't sell off too much. Just the square baler is all we really sold off, I'd say, and everything else we kept. So yeah, well, that doesn't count like the trade-in stuff. Obviously that's gone, but I'm pretty happy with the upgrades. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. I also just thought it would be a little silly to have 2 combines with only 3 people on the farm, because Dalton is now working for me. He has officially told me he wanted to join the farm, so he is now a farmhand for sure. I know I mentioned it in the last episode, but he is now working with Todd and me, and we've got 3 farmhands now on the farm. I just thought it was a little crazy to have a second combine, especially whenever we're busy with tillage or something, because then somebody's got to have to load or unload the combine. If you see what I mean, it just kind of, it sounds all good and dandy whenever you're like having 2 combines work on a field while somebody's carting grain, but whenever we're like trying to drill winter wheat or start tillage, if there's still 2 people running the combine, somebody can't unload like on the go and stuff. It just kind of causes a little problem. So I'm going to see if I can find somebody else to work on the farm so we can have 4 people, and then next year we'll pick up another combine. And honestly, I'm wanting something a little green next year, so I'll just leave that up to you guys, the viewers, to try and figure out what combine we're going to be picking up next year. Well, if we need it. You know, I just think that'd be kind of cool. I've never run 2 combines like ever, so yeah. And one final thing that we did do yesterday is we sold off some of the cattle, some of the older cattle that had been here for a little while. We sold them off, made about, I don't even remember how much we made. It was a good bit of money, and it actually did help pay for some of the fields and stuff. So the heifers gave birth. There's a few newborn calves in here. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but they are. Here's some right here. I'm talking like really freshly newborn, so we got to tag them and stuff. But they're all hanging out in here. I'm sure they're probably pretty cold. It's a bad day to have a bunch of snow because they're a day old, if even that. But yeah, we do have 53 head of cattle on the farm now. So we had, I think it was 80 something whenever we, when they had the newborn calves, and we sold off a bunch of the older cattle. So, which for some reason in this game, the calves bring in less profit than like the bigger cattle. So we sold off some of the cows, and I would have liked to sell off the calves, but for some reason they don't bring in not even like a quarter of what the cows make. So I don't know. That's just this game for you. But we did make, I think it was 90,000 off of 30 head of cattle, I think. So that's crazy, but the beef business is paying off. And one slight final thing I will mention is we still don't have this beef lot over here. I said I was going to work on it this winter. I'm going to have it up and ready for production, but I don't think we've got enough money right now just laying around to start like work on the building. We can more than likely start working on it, but we won't have it finished until like the summer, because we need to sell our soybeans, have a little bit more money to work with on our hands. And honestly, I think I'd rather just have more money to work with for fields this summer, like pick up another field for this coming fall. But I don't know, who knows, we'll figure it out. But yeah, you guys, that is the upgrades. There's really not too much to do, so we're gonna kind of wait this winter out for the majority of the couple months, and I mean January and into February. And we do have some fields of wheat that I need to cultivate, so I'm just going to say that I will see you guys then. I don't know how long that's going to be. We'll probably skip right into March. That's the best thing I would think to do, because both January and February is snow all month, every day of the week. So we're just going to try to stay warm, keep feeding the cattle, and I will catch up with you guys in just a few months. Okay, so welcome to March, everyone. It's kind of awkward just skipping like 2 months, but hey, nothing we could have really done about it. It just kind of snowed all of January, the rest of January, and then 2 days into February, and then it rained yesterday. So the snow's gone. Shouldn't have to worry about any snow for the rest of this year, like in spring, all that, till maybe December we might get some more snow. But it has been a crazy few months because along with feeding the cows, which we have done plenty of times, I just gave them some water a while ago. I mean, you can see my tracks having to refill the tank a few times. So we've been tending to the cows. All the equipment has sat dormant except for one little thing we did contract out. So you might notice the money did go down a little bit. And I'd like to say that I did kind of lie to you guys saying that we weren't going to like jump the gun on working on the finishing barn, because that is exactly what has happened. Somebody came out on January 2nd, and I didn't even really think about like how cheap the building was gonna be put up for, right? So all the money I've been thinking about putting into this thing would have been in the total feedlot, so that's bins, storage, and then obviously we got to put the fence up, get the bunks ready, all that stuff. But the building's up. I mean, this thing right here cost us about $15,000 to put up, and it is brand new. You can see the wood's all stained. It looks all really nice. And so this in here will be where the cows can roam. They'll come in here for like shelter. We'll have like water tanks and feed bunks in here, and then they'll actually be able to come out here and they'll be able to walk around. We'll obviously kind of dig this up and put down some grass, and we'll put a fence around right in here, kind of where I'm walking, and we'll have it up to the dirt path. And then there's going to be a little feed bunk, like a trough we can put feed in as well. And obviously we're going to be using this area right here to fatten the cows up so we can sell them off for more profit, because they're just pasture fed in the pasture. We just feed them hay, some mineral feed, but for the most part no sweet feed is really included in their diet. So we'll bring them here, feed them corn, fatten them up, and obviously, the bigger they are, the more money they bring in. So I think that actually works in farming simulator terms as well. The more you get their productivity up, or their feed rate, whatever that's called, they sell for more. And I think I tested this on another map, and the cows sell for $1,000 more whenever we feed them like total mixed ration, corn, all this sweet feed stuff. So right now we're selling for about $3,500. We bumped that up to almost $4,300 for each head of cattle, which means if we made $90,000 on the 30 head of cattle we sold back in this past winter, I think we would make around $140,000-$150,000 off the same amount. Maybe a little less than that, actually, like $130,000. But still, that's crazy. That's so worth it in the end, really. So we did have to move some of this, like some of the implements down here. We had to move them a little closer together to give the guys room to come out here and build. They brought a bulldozer, leveled this out a little bit, what needed to be done. I mean, you can kind of see there is a little bit of a gradual slope, and then it flattens out. And then obviously the building is back here. It's right up next to the field, so don't know how to feel about that, but hey, there's a little bit of room to work with. And then obviously we've got the doors. They're just open right now. You can see we can shut them. And then we've got this little back part where we can store stuff for the cows. Obviously, if we are going to use the grain truck to give them feed, we can put the grain truck in here and use the three-sided shed for more space. And then we also did move the wagon over here because I wanted it out of the way from the bins over there, but that's totally different. It's besides the point. Then this hill was also shaved down pretty good, and the grass has kind of come up a little bit. I mean, we didn't do too much terraforming in here. I mean, it's still kind of the same look to it, but we did make it flat. The only thing I don't like is the water does kind of go down the hill towards the shed just a little bit, but it kind of stops right in here, and it should be able to drain either to the field back here or around the front. So not ideal. It's probably going to be wet. We're probably going to have to put some drain tiles in or something, but for the most part, it's here. It's got white siding, which is something we don't see on the farm at all other than the house up there. And I don't know, I think it just fits in with everything so well. So yeah, the only thing we need to do now is, like I said, finish out the feedlot part with the fences. We need to put some gravel in. We're probably going to have a road bed like right here where I'm walking. And then this is something that I would like to do as well, is probably trim back the field edge a little bit and have a little gravel path right here leading down to it on this side as well. So yeah, it definitely looks a little weird. I'm not used to seeing a building down there. I'm so used to seeing the bales of hay or whatever, but we still have plenty of money, so don't worry. I feel like we're starting to kind of waste it a little bit because we could have waited to put this building up. But dude, $15,000, I mean, we got a pretty insane offer on it, and that was excluding all the other prices. So we got one of the most expensive things out of the way. we will get the rest of the stuff built this summer, hopefully, and have the cows in there ready to sell them off in the winter. So that's the hope. I think that's going to work perfectly. And apart from that, I mean, we've just kind of been tidying around the farm. I'll show you in the hay shed right here as well. We've done a lot of cleaning up. It's a lot cleaner in here. Kind of messed around with the gravel, make it look a little cleaner. There was like some oil spills. You can see that's still kind of right here as well. But we cleaned out all the straw junk I was laying on the ground from the bales, so it's all clean. We moved the spreader and the skid steer back in here as well. We're starting spring cleaning, I guess that's what you could say. So hey, what the heck. But before we bust on out to the field, we're going to be using the disc harrow today, I guess. We don't have a field cultivator yet. I'd really like to pick up a bigger field cultivator. We do have to drop a bale of hay in the pasture real quick because I don't think I did it yesterday. So we'll run in here and do this real quick. Shouldn't take long at all. It never does. I'm sure these cows are probably pretty happy to see some of the snow go away. I'm sure they were pretty cold out here in this pasture, especially the calves. I'm surprised they all make it. They all look pretty healthy though. Yeah, this is for sure, honestly, by far the most successful I've ever been with beef cattle and farming simulator. Usually I just put them in a pasture and sell them off when it gets time, but I'm actually kind of putting some buildings to sell them for more profit, like expanding the business. Yeah, this is definitely the most profitable I've ever been from beef cattle, and honestly, I really like it. It's a lot of fun. It's not as fun as dairy work, but hey, it is still really cool to see. I've never ever experimented with like a fattening shed or anything, so I think it's pretty cool to see some new implementations of like the beef cattle industry that I'm working with. Instead of just throwing them in a pasture and leaving them, I'm trying something new, and I think it's going to work out like I want it to. So, and it's got a nice gameplay feature with it as well because they end up actually selling for more, just like in real life. So, literally nothing to complain about there. And also, I cannot lie, that building looks pretty sweet. I mean, it wasn't exactly what I had in mind for like a shed like that. I wanted something a little smaller, but dude, it looks so good down there. So now we'll turn that off. I think we're going to be using the 8300 today, which I know is probably disappointing. We've got a brand new tractor we could fire up, but we're going to save that for planting, which is more than likely going to be in the next episode because planting season is just about here. So for today, we are going to fire up the 8300. I really hope we can get out of here without running into the combine. And honestly, I really could have pulled the combine up a little more. So here, we'll fire it up real quick. We'll pull it up. This is what the inside of it looks like, by the way. It's a whole lot better. We did finally put up the monitor, by the way. You can see right there. This is just the yield monitor, but we've got the rest of the stuff that we were working on. We just haven't had a lot of time to finish putting up the GPS or anything. But the yield monitor's in. It's working. I really like to see that. We'll pull this up to about right there. We'll stop it. And this combine's got the, what is it, like a hydrostatic transmission? I know that's definitely not the word for it. It doesn't have the gearing system like the old combine does, which I like that a little better. It's just a lot more convenient for us. It's just got like the throttle, like forward, neutral, reverse, and then the throttle. I'm not sure if that's called hydrostatic transmission. I could probably be wrong. I'm not the brightest when it comes to simple terms like that, but it doesn't have what it used to have on the old combines. Yeah, today we're going to be breaking out the 8300, giving it some more hours for field work. I just wanted to use the tractor with front wheel assist, to be honest with you, and I didn't want to break out the new one today. I want to save it for planting, and I think it is a little overkill, so we'll go with the next best choice. And I was thinking about doing no-till on the wheat stubble, so we just dropped the planter straight into the wheat ground, but guess what? There are no row cleaners, so that would be a little awkward, I'd say. I think the planter would have a little bit of a struggle with that. We have nothing to clean out the debris in front of the wheels or nothing. So we're going to make a little initiative and clean up the field a tiny bit before we plant. It'll give a nicer seed bed. And there's also a lot of weeds we need to bury as well. We just let it sit through winter, which was honestly probably a better idea. So we'll head down here and we'll get these two fields cleaned up and we'll come back and start our next task. Alright, so here is the first field. You can see there is just a little bit of wheat stubble and then some weeds on top of it. So we're just going to kind of bury this stuff today real quick. The ground is honestly warming up enough to be out here and doing this. So I don't see a problem with it. I was worried about it being still kind of cold outside, but it's 50 degrees in March 1st, so I think that's not bad at all. And then obviously the next field over is this one right there. You can see it through the tree line. We're going to knock that one out today as well. And I know I did want a disc harrow for the longest time. That's what this is right here. But I do kind of want a field cultivator now. I do miss the way it smoothed everything out. This kind of plows more than I wanted it to. Or well, they both kind of plow, but this does finish a little more. The cultivator rips a little more, if that makes a little bit of sense. I do want a field cultivator though. I miss the way it puts the ground in, which this actually does look pretty good right here after all. And so yeah, real fast, I'll talk about the loans real quick. I've got a mod in here that, here, I'll just actually show it to you real quick. It's this right here, loan system, and it's a more realistic way for me to take out loans and whatnot. And as you can see, my two loans, $100,000 and $200,000, and I've only paid off $40,000 of the two together. So that's a little scary. I'm trying to take it as realistically as possible, but interest rate is now 4, so we could end up going bankrupt or something. I don't know. It's getting a little scarier. I started paying off the $70,000 or the $100,000, and I got $40,000 paid. Yeah, that's right. So now we took out another loan, and we're back kind of where we started. We don't have a lot paid off. So I've made it to where it's going to take more of our money every month, so we can try and get it paid off faster, and then we'll make like a special redemption or whatever it's called in the thing, where I can just pay off a good bit of money at a time. But for whatever reason, I can't pay the entire loan off at once. I have to make smaller payments every month, which I don't remember it being like that in Farming Simulator 22. You could just pay it all off at once. So a little bit unfortunate, but it definitely means we can keep our money for longer. So hey, that's nothing to complain about. But yeah, so if any of you were wondering why I didn't pay off the $70,000, I only paid off like 10 grand at the bank, and they just gave me another loan. So I don't know if that's actually realistic to real life. I'm younger, so I don't have a full idea on how like loans work in that sense. So forgive me if I'm playing so unrealistically. But the only reason I took out a loan is because I thought I would pay the other one off and take out another loan for fields. And I mean, that's what I used it for, but now I've got two sitting in the bank. So we're going to be focusing on that as well, trying to get that paid off. So we've just got a lot going on right now. But the good news with all of this, everything we've done so far has contributed to more profit. So unlike the last on the map challenge, we are not losing profit. With the beef cows, we're going to gain more profit than we would normally. With the new land, I mean, that's a no-brainer. We're going to gain more profit when we have more fields. And the new equipment, we'll be able to get work done faster, which will leave us more time for tillage and small odds and in out jobs or whatever. If I'm saying that right, I mean, it makes sense to me, but I may not explain it good enough. So because something I was notorious for doing on the last on the map challenge was spending a lot of money on equipment we didn't really need. So now I'm trying to figure out stuff we do for sure need that will help us get field work done faster and gain us more profit. So that's what I'm really trying to do. Instead of spending all the money on equipment, I'm trying to buy more fields, work with the cows some more, maybe have us some more profit out of that as well. So yeah, I know what I'm doing this time around, but I also kind of don't know what I'm doing, but at the same time I do. So I think I'm doing pretty good for year 3. Oh, and it finally did change over to year 3. I'm not real sure why that says like year 2 for a couple months until it says year 3 like in March, whatever, it finally updates. So, but yeah, you guys, I think that's all I've got for you today in this one. A little bit of a different episode for winter because we're kind of all over the place. I mean, we skipped 4 different months in this one episode. I think that's right. So yeah, we did get a good bit done. New fields, new equipment, a lot of new stuff. You guys have heard all about it. So on the contrary, planting is coming right up soon, which I am so excited for. I cannot wait to run that 12 row, and hopefully by then we'll have the GPS working entirely in the 8320, and we'll hook it up to the planter. We've got precision planting and everything for it, so it's going to work perfectly. So as well as this tractor, we've got a rate monitor in this tractor, so we'll be doing a lot of planting with the 8300 as well. And then we'll also figure out the GPS and the combine. We'll get that fixed up as well for wheat harvest in June, which I'm also super looking forward to. And yeah, we were in a little bit of a slower month, like December was slower, January was a little slower. Now we're going to start ramping up, so we're going to be busy, tillage, planting, working, tending to crops, and then wheat harvest. So that's a little bit of outlook for the next couple months. I mean, Alma, Missouri really just keeps on giving. I just love this series so much, and I hope you guys do as much as I do. So with all that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you all in the next one.